Welcome everyone, this is Alexandra Mitroshkina and I'm here today to talk about sales confidence and the ways to measure and improve it. A sales confidence survey is the best way to measure how your sales and the rest of the go-to-market team feel equipped for successful prospecting. But running the survey involves more than just downloading the survey template. You'll need to collect responses, analyze the results, present them to stakeholders, create an action plan, and actually follow through with it. I'm your instructor, Sasha Mitroshkina, and I've been leading the sales confidence initiatives in tech companies for years. And today, in this course, I will guide you through my step-by-step process of running a sales confidence survey. It's easy to automate and scale. One product marketing manager can execute on all the steps in under a month. During the course, you will get access to my survey template, which you can customize, and also you will learn best practices, common mistakes to avoid along the way, and real-life examples of initiatives that will set your go-to-market team for success. And if you're launching your first sales confidence survey, I am excited for you because now you will have everything you need to run it smoothly. And if you have already gotten some experience in such projects, I've got some advanced tips and case studies to share. Now let's dive in. The formula for sales confidence is simple. It's knowledge plus experience equals confidence to lead. While we can measure knowledge with tests and measure experience in years, the confidence of the salesperson can feel tricky to measure. So how do we measure it? After all, we're here to learn that. One of the best tools to measure sales confidence is to run a survey. This is a simple survey for your go-to-market team to assess how prepared they feel to pitch your products, beat the competition, and succeed in sales. And not only it gives you a baseline for sales confidence you can act on, but there are other benefits too. It helps you gather feedback on your enablement efforts and strengthens the relationship between your go-to-market and product marketing teams. From my experience, it's even helped increase the trust go-to-market teams have in product marketing, making us a core part of the team. In the first part of the course, we'll cover the 6 easy steps to measure sales confidence. What I love about the process is that it can be automated and scalable. I usually spend less than 30 hours on everything from step 1 to step 6. Step 1 starts with defining your goals, and many of us skip this step, but I believe it is vital for the success of the project, and I will share the ideas for potential goals to get you started. Step 2 is creating the sales confidence survey. When I was building my first survey, I couldn't find one template that would cover all the aspects of the sales confidence that I need to measure. So after searching and researching many resources, I built my own template, which I will share with you, and you will be able to customize it to your needs. Step number 3 is launching the survey and getting the answers. And it might sound like an easy thing, but it can be quite a challenge. In the eyes of the sales team, the project that you are trying to run is not contributing to the revenue. And this is what the sale is about. So it may take some time for you to get the survey fill rate that you targeted on the first step. Proper cadence of communication and the types of messages you can send to the team can make the process way easier. So I'm going to share that with you. And step 4 is to follow up with your respondents based on the groups of salespeople or sales personas. The challenges and needs of sales may differ from the ones of customer success, for example. And these follow-up sessions can help dive deeper into the details of their challenges and what kind of resources they might need. Step 5 is my most favorite one because here you get to write a report based on the survey findings and also tell everyone about it. I like this step because I'm a researcher in my heart, and as everyone in product marketing should be, probably you are too. If not, I will provide you with the template that I'm using, which will make writing of the survey findings more streamlined and easier. The report should feature the action items that you will follow up on starting from the step number 6 and until your next sales confidence survey. In the second part of the course, we will look at the initiatives that you can launch to improve the sales confidence that you've learned about in the first 6 steps. I'll also share templates, tips, and best practices along the way. When you first hear about sales confidence survey, your immediate thought might be, where can I find a template and how do I run it? But just before you jump into that, I recommend starting with your goals and what you want to achieve from the survey. In this video, we'll cover 2 common scenarios and the goals you can set for each. Situation A: if this is the first sales confidence survey your organization has ever done, or if your team has gone through major changes, your goal should be to gather benchmark data with this first survey. Situation B is if you've run a survey before and already have benchmark, your goal now is to compare current results with the previous ones and to adjust your strategy based on your team's evolving needs. Here are a few tips to keep in mind. It's best to run your sales confidence survey at the beginning of the next sales cycle. Running it at other times, like close to the end of the quarter, might mean the team is too focused on closing deals to give the survey proper attention. For frequency of the survey, the industry standard is every 6 months. But personally, I run it annually because it takes time for me to implement the initiatives from the survey the last time I was running it, and for the teams to feel the difference with the new resources in place. And if your team has had a significant change, let's say more than 30% of the team is new since the last survey, run a new benchmark survey. So go to the situation A. Set a target completion rate for your survey on this step. I usually aim for 85% as my go-to-market team is around 60 people right now, and getting answers from at least 50 of them gives me statistically meaningful data. And if you have a smaller team, aim for higher completion rate to see clear patterns in the responses. So when it's time to launch your sales confidence survey, don't skip this step. Take the time to define your goals and keep them in mind throughout the process. It will help keep you on track. Now that you have set up your goals, it's time to set up your survey. You will find plenty of sales confidence survey templates online, but most of them only cover 1 or 2 areas of sales enablement, like competitive intelligence or collateral. I couldn't find a free template that took a more complete approach, so for my first survey, I had to piece together multiple templates and created my own. In the resources section below this video, you'll find my version of the survey, so feel free to copy it and make it your own. And today I won't walk through every question in the template here, but feel free to check them out, and after the session, reach out to me if you have any questions. So my survey has 4 main parts. The first one is demographics. This helps you filter responses by department, team's experience, prior industry knowledge, and confidence levels in different sales areas. Second one is sales collateral. This gathers feedback on current and needed collateral. And third one is products and services. Here you can measure how confident the team feels about pitching your company's products and services in particular. And the fourth one is competitive intelligence. This section focuses on the team's confidence in beating the competition. A few tips to keep in mind here. Product Marketing Alliance recommends making surveys anonymous. I've tried both anonymous and non-anonymous surveys, and I prefer non-anonymous because it lets me follow up on specific asks from individual salespeople. We've built trust with our go-to-market teams so they feel comfortable sharing their needs and frustrations, but try both approaches and see what works for you. If you have multiple products and services, ask a benchmark question for each family of products or services. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident do you feel when pitching companies' software and services? Do not get too detailed with this question because you just need to focus on products or services families, not the individual ones, unless you want to. This will help you measure the results of any enablement initiatives you've done for each product. And the other tip that I want to share is make sure to keep the comment section in your survey where it makes sense. This allows the team to give you more specific feedback, like what they want to learn more about, which asset they need, and what competitive intelligence they're missing. Now that you have the template, let me walk you through the best practices for getting solid responses from your front-facing team. In this session, we will cover how to communicate about your sales confidence survey from pre-launch to following up after you got all the answers from the sales team. Even if you launch the survey early in the quarter, which is recommended, you will still have to chase down some sales representatives because their focus is always on closing the deals. Asking them to take time away from selling to fill out the survey of yours can be a bit challenging. So here's how you can get their attention. First of all, you need to get senior sales leadership buy-in. Find someone like sales team lead, VP of sales, or chief revenue officer who can stress the importance of the survey at the leadership level. This will show the sales teams that their input is valued and it will help them to make more sales if they answer your survey. The second thing is to communicate consistently from start to finish. Right below this video, you will find the template of communication with a timeline and suggested messaging for each notification for your sales team. Here are some best practices I use to ensure a 25% fill rate in the first 24 hours of the survey. First of all, I keep the announcement short and actionable. Front-facing teams are very busy. They appreciate clarity. So add the info about how long it will take them to fill out the survey. I would suggest holding off on mentioning the survey deadline in your first announcement, because if people know that they have a few weeks to fill it in, they might push it aside and forget about it altogether. So instead, bring up the deadline once you've hit at least 50% response rate. This way, it's more urgent for the team and likely get their attention. If it's not your first survey, showcase the results of the last survey. Were there any notable projects launched for sales since the last time you did the survey? Talk about it in your announcement so that the teams know that you will act on the results. Send the announcement in multiple channels to ensure they see it, such as company email, sales newsletter, sales Slack channel, anywhere they hang out will work. And you can even join their team call to announce the survey as well. I would strongly suggest to create a list of survey respondents and update the completion of the survey for each respondent frequently. If you keep track of who should fill out the survey, you'll be able to follow up with those who didn't fill out the survey on a one-to-one basis at some point. This is one of the reasons why I recommend to keep the survey non-anonymous. I hope the template with communication cadence and reference emails and Slack messages will help you run your survey smoothly. After you've achieved your target survey fill rate, your next step will be to follow up with the respondents to get deeper insights about their roles and needs. And that's what we are going to go over in the next lesson. In this video, we're going to cover how to follow up with different front-facing teams to better understand their enablement needs. Once you've gathered all the responses from your sales confidence survey, I recommend setting up a 40-minute call with the various personas in your sales departments. This step is important because each sales persona has different needs, and the survey doesn't always capture everything. So decide which sales roles you want to speak with and schedule these calls. In the resource section, I'm going to share the example of the presentation you can use during the meetings with the survey participants. Here are a few tips for this step. First off, before the call, you need to group the survey answers by job title to see the specific insights for each sales team. Prepare a short presentation with these insights and share during the meetings. Second, as you show the data during the meeting, ask questions like, does this resonate with your experience, to get the conversation going? Another tip is to stay focused on your goals. Did you run the survey to figure out what to do with your sales materials? Or were you trying to see if your team needs a competitive intelligence program? Maybe you noticed other trends in their responses. This will be a great time for you to clarify things. And finally, record the call so you can focus on the discussion instead of taking notes. After you've had all the follow-up meetings, you will need to write a report that explains the results of the survey and how you plan to act on it. The next lesson will cover how to do that. Congratulations, you made it through the hardest parts. Now all that is left is to put together a survey report based on the data you've gathered from the survey and your follow-up goals. I recommend keeping the Sales Confidence Survey report short and easy to act on. This report can actually become your sales enablement strategy. Personally, this is my favorite step. If you enjoy digging into raw data and spotting patterns, you will also find this part pretty rewarding. And even if you're not a fan of data analysis, the report is super easy to put together as it consists of 3 parts. The first one is executive summary. I consider this the main part of the report, and usually I fill it out after the rest of the report is done, as this is a stripped down, short version of the whole report. The second part is called detailed survey results, and depending on your survey goals and the patterns that you see in the answers, you need to do an overview of the most outstanding results. Your survey template already has 4 sections, so you can simply follow the same pattern in the report. And the third section is the action plan. In this section, you will need to convert the results from the detailed section into your action plan. For example, if competitive intelligence was the dominating area of needs, you might want to launch a competitive intelligence program. Or maybe your team needs more education about technology in general, a new product in particular. Think about how to make it happen and add it to your action plan. The plan shouldn't be too detailed. Rather, it should showcase the directions you think of taking. No need to commit to anything at this stage. Just show them that you got this. Once the report is written, prepare a presentation with the findings and do a quick roadshow for interested stakeholders. I always do a simple presentation that repeats the structure of the executive summary of the report. And I'm going to share my template in the resources section at the end of this module. Now that you have created the plan and shared it with your stakeholders, it is time to put it into action. In the next module, we will dive deeper into some sales enablement ideas you can implement. But to wrap this part of the course up, I want to share a few final tips with you. First of all, when you're implementing some ideas from the survey, do not overlook obvious improvements. Those can often make the biggest difference. For example, reorganizing your sales assets can speed up the deal progress, or launching a sales newsletter can align sales and marketing more effectively. The other tip is, or rather advice, is delegate when you can. Some improvements may fall outside of your responsibility, or you might need more resources to get the plan done. So make sure the survey findings and plan are seen as company-wide project and invite other teams to help. For example, if product education is a gap, you might get help from the product team or learning and development department. If competitive intelligence needs work, the sales actually might take a lead on that, as they often have the best visibility into customer conversation. You could also create a tiger team, a group of people from your organization that come together and solve this project and drive this forward. The other tip, and again, maybe it's better to call it advice, is don't be hard on yourself if you don't implement everything from your plan. By focusing on low effort, high impact actions, you will still make a big difference for your sales team and the company. What you can't complete could be passed on to a new hire dedicated to sales enablement in the future. Another tip is use a project management framework to keep things moving. My team and I use Agile framework to deliver assets and projects from our action plan. If you're interested, you can check our process and how to set up Agile sprints for marketing in less than 2 hours in the resources section of this module. In the next lessons, we will dive into some sales enablement ideas that I've successfully implemented, along with best practices and mistakes that I've learned along the way. So I'll see you in the next module, and good luck with your sales confidence survey.